This is the first time na wala si former President. May nani mga officials.
Opo.
May I ask for curious to sa details sa
wala may discussion about his absence. Maybe siguro it was already expected because of his situation right now. He's currently detained in the detention unit of the ICC. So there was no any other feeling except accepting the matter of fact that he will not be present in the oath-taking this afternoon.
Ma'am Ruth, ma'am.
VP,
Please, ma'am.
of course, inaabangan namin si former President Duterte na maka-take oath. What happened after June 30, ma'am, sa Davao City, where we Vice Mayor Baste Duterte to take over as acting mayor? What happened? What's the status, ma'am?
Okay, si former President and now Mayor-elect Rodrigo Duterte, he has until noon of June 30 to take his oath. In the event that he doesn't take his oath on June 30, then it will be Vice Mayor Baste who will be acting mayor of Davao City.
Pero ang tanong kasi ng Davaoan yung mayor, kung makapag-take oath ba anong chances noon, Vice?
Oo. Ma'am, mag-in-English lang po, ma'am, ha?
Okay.
Para makuhaan siya sa international pod. Oh, sorry, ma'am. At sa'yo pangunta na, ma'am.
English mo.
Ma'am, sorry. Wala mo na minaw.
Napag-usapan niyo ba yung oath taking? Yung sabi mo is hanggang meron pang afternoon June 30?
For former president, no? No, I have not discussed recently with former President Duterte about taking his oath, and I think this is a matter that has been discussed between former President Duterte and his lawyers.
Thank you, Ma'am Ruth. Ma'am Kat, go ahead, ma'am.
Ma'am, kanina earlier po, Congressman Ungabet as well as of course Vice Mayor Baste said yung pagkapanalo ng Hongkong isa parang proof siya na malaki yung support ng mga Davaoenos. Do you think it will translate to 2028 for your candidacy?
Well, it is difficult to speculate, no, whether the midterm elections will affect the 2028 presidential elections. But I can say that the midterm elections for Davao City was an affirmation of the leadership of Mayor Baste Duterte and former Mayor Rodrigo Duterte, and as well as Congressman Isidro Ungab, no, where he was given as his third term for his second set as representative of the 3rd District.
And last na lang po, are we optimistic, ma'am, that former president can still take his oath and somehow go home after the ICC?
Apo. As a Davaoenyo, yes, I hope and pray that he will take his oath because I voted for him. I wanted him to be mayor of Davao City. So that is my prayer. But we really do not know what are the discussions between lawyers and former President Duterte. So we wait. If he takes his oath or he doesn't take his oath, then we will have a situation where Davao City will have an acting mayor.
Thank you, Ma'am Kat. Argent Relator, Ma'am Jemmy.
Hello, hapon, ma'am. Earlier today, ma'am, you filed your cover affidavit before the Office of Ombudsman to answer allegations din po sa allegations used ng confidential funds ng OVP at saka any details that could be us na regarding ito?
The content?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. With regard to the content, it is best if you can talk to my lawyers. For my ombudsman cases, my lawyers are Attorney Paul Lim, Attorney Clifford Chua, and they are assisted by Attorney Michael Powa. They can best explain the contents of the answer to the order of the ombudsman to give an answer, no? So as not to siguro for me to affect their defense strategy. So they are the best people to explain what can be publicly known and what cannot be stated in public.
Earlier today, ma'am, may lumabas ng mga reports na accordingly, ma'am, Australian government has declined to host the former President Rodrigo Duterte should the interim release happen. Any reaction po nakatanggap kayo ng information?
Oh yes, I saw an email by a certain Hasna of the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, yes. An email of, yes, a certain Hasna of Department of Foreign Relations and Trade. Yes, and first off, I'd like to clarify that the defense team of President Duterte never reached out to the Australian government to discuss about his interim release. There is no application of former President Duterte for interim release in Australia. And the submission of the lawyers of President Duterte, wherein there were two countries indicated in the document, albeit redacted, I have to confirm that the two countries, none of which is Australia. So I do not know why there was an email from a certain Hasna about the interim release of President Duterte to Australia. This has never been discussed with the Australian government. There was never an application with the Australian government. And there is no intent as well to apply for interim release with the Australian government.
Follow up lang. Aside dun sa two countries na redacted, ma'am, may other countries po ba na express na intent na in case mag-granting interim release na ready na tanggapin si FDA?
Ang na-mention ko lang naman sa previous interviews ko is that merong list of countries na sinulat ang defense team ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte kung saan nila iniisip na pwedeng mag-apply ng interim release. But hindi yung lisahan na yon ay hindi in-applyan ng interim release. So it is wrong to assume na because there is a list, there was an application for interim release to all the countries. No.
Last follow-up. Ma'am, yung email mo was directed to you, ma'am, or to OVP o sa council ni FDRRD?
Ang email, I don't know saan galing ang email, but I got a copy. Yung email ng Australia ni certain Hasna of the Australian Foreign Relations and Trade. I do not know where and to whom it was addressed, but I got a copy of it, and I do not know as well on what basis she was able to say that there is parang it is not discussed with the Australian government and they will not allow interim release in Australia because in the first place, there is no application for interim release in Australia.
Okay, Bril Montalvo, ma'am, News 5. Mike, please.
chance. VP, VP, yung statement mo na ayaw ng titigin mo, bobo na ang nasa administration. Sinabi ng palasyo na emosyonal ka daw at may pasay pa na when emotions are high, intelligence are slow, but never speak out of anger.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just stating a matter of fact. Hindi ako emotional. Nakita niyo naman ako kung paano ako maging emotional. Hindi pa ako umaabot doon. I'm just stating a fact that really kulang-kulang yung brain cells ng mga taong nagsasalita para sa administration.
Follow-up, VP. Diversionary tactics mo lang yung statement mo na ikaw ang frontrunner sa 2028 election at gusto kang pabagsakin ng administration.
Oh, of course not. So, let's just say na diversionary tactic ko yung yung presidential elections for 2028. Hypothetically, ganun yon. So, lumipat tayo sa ibang rason kung bakit nila ako atakihin. What they are doing is what is called political scapegoating. Kapag walang nangyayari sa administrasyon mo at walang ginagawa yung principal o yung presidente, ang gagawin nila is magtuturo ng ibang tao. Kapag merong question sa kawalan ng ginagawa ng administrasyon, ang gagawin nila ay magtuturo sa ibang tao para nawawala yung tanong at para nagugulo ang mga tao. That is a classic political scapegoating. Example of which is noong lumabas yung tanong sa blanco sa national budget natin. Mainit na ang tanong, bakit may blanks sa national budget? We are operating on an unconstitutional budget. Anong nangyari? Nagkaroon ng extraordinary rendition kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Idagdag na natin doon ang personal scandal ng member ng First Family doon sa United States of America. Anong nangyari? 3 days after, merong nangyari na extraordinary rendition o pagkuha kay dating Pangulong, sapilitang pagkuha kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte dito sa ating bayan at dinala siya sa the Netherlands. Noong sumabog ang People's Initiative, yung kagustuhan nila na i-amenda ang konstitusyon para mapahaba yung kanilang mga termino at para burahin ang opisina ng Vice President at lumipat tayo sa parliamentary form of government kung saan Prime Minister lang ang ini-elect at hindi siya by popular vote, by members of parliament only. Anong ginawa nila? Nag-file sila ng impeachment dahil mainit na yung mga tao. Doon nagsimula yung we are not for sale. So that is political scapegoating. Yung wala kang ginagawa, so magtuturo ka na lang ng ibang tao para makalimutan yung kawalan ng proyekto, kawalan ng programa, kawalan ng kaayusan sa ating bansa. So, assuming hindi totoo yung sa presidential election sa 2028, klaro naman sa timeline kung paano nila ginagawa yung pag-atake ng kanilang political opponents para makalimutan ang kanilang mga kabalbalan.
Last question na VP. Sinabi ng Malacanang na kung totoo daw official business ang mga biyahe mo sa ibang bansa, obligasyon mo daw na magpaliwanag sa bayan kung ano yung naging accomplishment mo dito at kung sino yung nakasama mo sa biyahe at sino-sino rin ang gumasto sa biyahe.
Opo, yan yung example ko sa inyo na bobo talaga. 'Di ba? Hindi nga official business yung kasi kailangan ko pa ba mag-explain? Sige, kailangan ko mag-explain nito, no? Kasi ang kausap mo medyo mahina, 'di ba? So, sige. Kapag gumagamit ka ng pera ng gobyerno, yan yung official business. Kapag hindi mo ginagamit yung pera ng gobyerno, mag-leave ka at yan yung personal. Okay? Kapag gumagamit ka ng pera ng gobyerno, official business yan, kailangan mong mag-report. Magsabit ng report. Kapag personal siya at walang gamit ng pera ng gobyerno, hindi mo kailangan mag-report. So, ganun lang yan ka simple na kailangan ko pa i-explain. At ito po yung example ko o solid proof na ano ba ibang term ng bobo? Ano yung mas magandang term ng bobo? Iba pa. Ano daw? Sa Bisaya, sa gani, ng bugo gani? Bugo. Ay. Pero sa kuan, sa Bisaya slang, sa ang bugo. Oplok. Mas worse mo na sa bubo eh. Yung medyo maganda pakinggan, pero nagsasabi ka pa rin na bobo. Ano? Ha? Slow? Slow kasi, hindi siya bobo eh, slow. Siya, mahina lang, no? Anong pag iba?
Bobo na lang, ma'am. Bobo na lang. Di sana natas bobo.
Diba? Yan yung example ko. Kita nyo, kailangan ko pa mag-explain. Nakakahiya na yung ginagawa nila. I mean, sa totoo lang, as a Filipino, I am truly embarrassed with what is happening in our country, especially coming from the administration.
Last two questions, VP. Yes, Ma'am Aimee, please use the mic.
VP,
Okay.
good afternoon.
Hello.
Ayan.
Good afternoon, baby. The last election, it was, I think, Sabo, Sara and Bongbong. Ngayon may lumalabas na Sabo. That's Sara and Bongbong. May possibility din talaga, and you top the latest survey as you the contender of the presidential race, and also Senator Bong was your vice or running mate. Is this possible? And what's your comment on this?
Well, sinabi ko kanina, no, may nagtanong din niyan kanina, galing kami sa Igapos. Masyado pa kasing malayo yung 2028 para natin basihan yung surveys. Ang pinakamaganda kasi na survey na basihan is yung kung pag nakikita mo na kung sino yung mga official candidates ng certain position. Yun yung pinakamaganda na tingnan na survey. Kasi kandidato na sila lahat. So maganda na yung spread ng numbers. So masyado siyang malayo for 2028 and hindi natin alam kung anong mangyayari bukas. In fact, by my experience, and we saw this as well with in 2016 with former President Rodrigo Duterte na very last minute yung decision niya. Yung sa akin naman was change of not really a change, no, but I ran for a different position. So antayin na lang siguro natin yung mga surveys kung saan nakikita na talaga natin kung sino yung mga kandidato for president.
Thank you, Ma'am Amy. VP, last question. Yes, sir. Sir, use microphone.
VP, ano po yung masasabi natin sa ating current government na everybody is worried na po sa nangyayaring kaguluhan sa ibang bansa, especially may mga OFW po tayo nasa Iraq at saka sa Iran. But still, they are thinking of politics pa rin po dito sa ating bansa.
Nakakalungkot dahil as I said, ganyan, no? Scapegoating yung ginagawa. Delikado na yung buhay ng ating mga kababayan doon sa mga bansa na apektado ng kaguluhan sa Middle East. Pero somehow wala pa rin tayong nakikita na concrete plans and actions from the administration on how they will process the repatriation of those who want to come home, or how they will give protection to those who want to stay in the Middle East. Yan po yung trabaho ng gobyerno, pero hindi natin nakikita yung urgency sa mga galaw nila pagdating sa seguridad ng ating mga kababayan sa Middle East. At ang nagagawa lang nila ay binabalik nila sa impeachment yung topic, binabalik nila sa political persecution yung topic, binabalik nila sa pagbisita ko sa ating mga Filipino communities sa iba't ibang bansa. Doon lang nila dinidirect yung attention nila at hindi doon sa mga totoong problema natin, tulad ng dati ko pang sinasabi, 2 taon na pataas ng pataas yung ng pagkain, ang basic necessities. Tumataas din yung nagugutom. Wala tayong food security plan. Plano pa siguro nila na sumali sa kaguluhan, pero wala man silang iniisip kung paano nila masecure o mapanigurado ang seguridad ng mga Pilipino. So, anong mas magandang term? Ano ba ang English sa bobo? Sus, kunwari pa kayo wala kayong chat GPT dyan, ha? Kunwari pa kayo lahat na wala kayong chat GPT, ha?
Bulayog na.
Bulayog sa Binisaya ba na siya? Stupid, no? In English. Slow. Unintelligent.
BBM now na that is significant impact ang Israel war sa ato ang economy.
Tinuod ka?
Yeah, he said.
Ano sana? Niya gisulti. Tinuod na niya gisulti niya.
He was saying na because yung rising daw ng fuel na mababa daw ngayon.
No, significant impact yung term niya na sa economy ng Philippines, yung Israel-Iran war.
Yes, ma'am.
Reaction lang, Justice Remulla said the Filipinos opted to pursue the war on drugs. So, ipa-take over lang nila sa ICC, especially those involved the former president.
Sorry ha, paklaro lang na ako. Unsa daw ang gibuhat sa justice? Unsa daw?
Justice Secretary Mr. Remulla said the Philippine government opted not to pursue the war on drug cases and let the ICC take over, especially those involving the former president.
So is he saying as a justice secretary, anong word ng, wait lang, sagutin ko muna. So is he saying as a justice secretary that our courts are not competent to hear cases of crimes that were allegedly done inside Philippine territory. So sinasabi ba niya na yung mga huwes natin ay walang alam compared to sa huwes ng ICC? Anong ibang term? Ayoko yung stupid kasi masyado siyang, gusto ko yung maganda pakinggan, pero bobo, intellectually challenged. Yan, mas maganda yan, no? Yeah, sige. Okay, masasyal! Yan ang gusto natin. Intellectually challenged. Ang move na sasabihin mo na hindi ka na lang as Justice Secretary, na hindi ka na lang mag-iimbestiga o magpurso ng kaso at ibibigay mo na lang yun sa isang foreign jurisdiction. Nakaka-insulto yun as a Filipino, lalong-lalo na sa mga huwes natin, sa judges natin. Nakaka-insulto siya. Intellectually challenged, I see. Sige.
Ma'am, previously, di ba yung the officials in the administration denied na merong cooperation ng Philippines with the
International Criminal Court. But now, according to Secretary Rimulya, yung government imukubondo para dalhin yung mga witnesses siguro sa start ng trial. So, your reaction na?
Oh, this is an example, again, of scapegoating. Nakita mo, wala silang plano para sa mga tao na nadidelikado yung buhay sa loob ng Middle East. Pero may plano sila para sa mga witnesses kuno ng kaso ng kalaban nila sa politika. So nakikita mo yung ginagawa nila. At parang bang sa kanila intellectually challenged tayong lahat na parang hindi natin naiintindihan kung ano yung totoong nangyayari. So, isa yan. May pera ka, meron ka palang airplane para mag-haul ng witnesses papunta sa The Hague, pero wala kang pera, wala kang airplane, at wala kang plano para mag-haul ng mga Pilipino galing sa Middle East. At isa pa dyan, as a sovereign country who already withdrew from the ICC, we are not obliged to cooperate with the ICC. Ito yung isa din sa mga example na nakikita nyo na hallmark ng administrasyon. Meron silang sinasabi ngayon, tapos iba yung gagawin nila, and parang sinasabi nilang, parang doon sa part na nagsinungaling sila, ay hindi nila ina-acknowledge na nagsisinungaling sila. And the best example niyan is magsasabi ka na 20 pesos ang kilo ng bigas. Tapos, noong ikaw ay nanalo, ay wala na, nakalimutan na yung 20 pesos na ang kilo ng bigas. Tapos, meron kang half-hearted effort para lang sabihin na na-comply mo yung sinabi mo at promise mo, ay gagawa ka ng 20 pesos na kilo na bigas na lahat ng tao nagsasabi hindi pwede kainin, hindi good for human consumption, at hindi siya available sa lahat ng mga tao. Pili pa yung pwedeng mag-access ng unfit for human consumption na 20 pesos na kilo na bigas. So yan yung example. Yan yung example. May sasabihin sila ngayon, tapos iba yung sasabihin nila sa susunod, pero hindi sila nagsisinungaling. Ang tawag dyan ay, hindi ko alam anong tawag dyan, sinungaling. Ang tawag dyan ay budol. Anong mas magandang scam? Yung ang scam kasi parang stupid yan, no? Pero yung social, anong social ng budol? Yon, pag-isipan natin kung ano yun. Pero sa isa, meron na tayo, intellectually challenged.
VP, yung reaction na talaga yung sinasabi ni BBBM na no significant impact sa ating economy yung Israel.
Well, we're not surprised. We have leaders who are intellectually challenged at the moment.
Thank you, VP.
Ano activity sa during this one?
Magiging acting vice mayor.
The highest, by percentage, no, the highest councilor who received the highest votes in percentage to the actual voters.
Si Councilor
Hindi ko alam, hindi ko tinanong. Oo. Kasi dati third district lagi kasi sila yung pinakamaraming voters eh. So dati 'di ba si Congressman Ungab, pero at ngayon election na ito hindi ko alam kung first district 'yun.
VP, asa ka sa kaya maka mo salmot or mo appeal sa zona ni BBM
Oo.
sa nga.
Wala pa ko kibalo asa ko ana na adlaw, wala pa namo nahuman ang ako ang schedule. So wala pa ko kibalo kung asa ko sa July 28. Tanaw na to, basta hindi magbago ako ang hunahuna niya, mulingkod ko dito. Pangpagubot lang.
Pillars from other governments na they would be willing to host the president.
Wala, hindi ko alam sir, sa totoo lang. Ito ay discussion ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at ng kanyang abogado.
Ma'am, sa ito na ganito sa email sa Australian government, inquiry lang siya or clarification?
Wala ko, basahin ko na lang, no?
VP, Australian government ba ginagigan or someone?
Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade of I guess Australia kay ngano ang iyahang kuan ang iyahang telephone number is +61 tapos ang iyahang website is dfat.gov.au. So basahin ko na lang ha para marinig nyo. The Australian government is aware that the Australian government is aware that former Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte has applied for interim release to a third unnamed country. Australia has not agreed to host Mr. Duterte if he is granted interim release, nor are we considering this. Mr. Duterte's interim release is a matter for the ICC to consider in line with the Rome Statute. Kind regards, Hasna. Media Liaison Section, Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. So ito yung nakuha namin. And as I said, the defense team of President Duterte did not apply for interim release in Australia. So I do not know from where she or he based her email.
And it was dated yesterday or today?
Walang date. Pero gi-blur ang name nung sinulatan.
Dili siya scam, dili na kaya scammer. Naganayan na sa Viber.
Kana po ang dili ko kabalo no kay wala may apelyido, first name lang. One name lang ang so wala ko kabalo if this is a family name or a
Even
first
the
name.
national articles, I don't know kung kabalos. Wala kang siya source.
Only reports.
Oh, so as journalists and as reporters, pwede ba ka magbuhat o news item na wala kay source?
Reducted po lang sila.
Mga intellectually challenged.
So, yeah. Australia has not agreed to host Mr. Duterte if he is granted interim release, nor are we considering this. So, yes, President Duterte did not apply for interim release in Australia.
Pero pa na lang kayo Gcash,
Obo! Dili mo na sa amo, Gikan lang na siya sa, I think, sa, kantong contact atong nagsulat sa article, media report.
ng inyong pagpunta sa Australia, yung paglawi or if ever, or naging part ba siya ng usapan nung nagpunta kayo sa Australia na possibly
Hindi.
maging host sila?
No, I never talked to any government official when I was in Australia. And I know for a fact na hindi Australia yung dalawang countries na redacted doon sa petition for interim release. Yes. So, yeah.
Nasa na tayo sa pag-workout for those two countries? Kasi crucial din po di ba ito dun sa magiging mayor din ni former president?
Ay, hindi naman. Ang pagiging mayor niya, kailangan lang niya mag-oath. Hindi ko alam kung anong desisyon, kung ano ang desisyon at ano yung challenges kung bakit hindi nag-oath, hindi pa nag-oath si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. At yun.
Kung intervene si DILG on a matter, hindi siya makatake off by June 3rd.
Dili, I do not think that the DILG will intervene because the DILG will only receive, ministerial ang ilahang duty to receive the papers sa iyahang pag-oath. And dili nila trabaho magpa-oath sa mga elected. Di na lang ko mo comment, ma'am, para dili ko mamakak.
Ma'am, to clarify, kasi parang yun yung response nila according sa sinabi yung with sa Australia. Australia is one of parang the least, sa list na ino-consider. Kung kayo yung naintindihan nila ma'am, na parang isa yung Australia sa dalawa. Just to clarify ma'am, na wala yung Australia or hindi ibig sabihin na nasa list siya yung isa sa dalawa na country.
I think it was clear sa aking statement na is in the list. But I never said that Australia is one of the two countries in the petition. Never said that. So, siguro, ano na lang din siguro ito, kagagawan ng
What are you thinking? What are you thinking now? It's a propaganda?
Oh, likely, of course. I would not be surprised if this is propaganda coming from the from the administration.
But will you ask Australia about it? Kung totoo.
About the interim release, hindi na, kasi alam ko naman na hindi totoo yung kasi alam ko naman na hindi nag-apply ng interim release sa Australia so hindi ko na kailangan tanungin ang Australia.
Are they even relevant to the ICC? Those
No, I think sa tingin ko lang kasi intellectually challenged naman kasi talaga ito sila. So, akala siguro nila pumunta ako doon sa Australia for interim release. Yun ang ganyan mag-isip ang mga intellectually challenged. Hindi masyado malalim yung pag-iisip nila. Oo. Hindi nila pinapalaliman yung pag-iisip. So, siguro, akala nila, dahil pumunta ako Australia, akala nila related yun sa interim release. Hindi.
Alright, thank you, VP. Thank you, OVP Davao Media.
Sige, tas after, pwede ka tuloy-tuloy? Kasi ang next nito sa 2028 na. Ayaw na maglihok kay para makuan na gwapo naman na inyong pwesto.
Kung na mag-picture para send ko na lang sa... Ready? Ready, one, two, three, smile, one more, one, two, three. Okay, thank you po. Thank you everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
Alam, minsan